Ms. Andrews, you claim that a restaurant recently when Mr. Glenn approached you out of the blue and raised his pant leg to reveal us of your name on his leg.
Prepare to have your minds blown, folks. So one day out of the blue, Mr. Glenn randomly walks up to Ms. Donna in a restaurant and presents his leg as evidence. His leg, everyone. He raises his pant leg to reveal a tattoo of her name and expects her to believe he is her long-lost father. What a move. You cannot make this stuff up. Top-tier absurdity.
My biological father I've never known a Mr. Glenn. I don't know him.
You never knew Mr. Glenn?
I knew, but I did not know him enough to say, hey, you're mine.
This is Mr. Roger Andrews, the man who actually raised her, the man she knew as her father, whose picture she is holding right now. But Mr. Glenn over here, the man with the leg tattoo, believes a piece of inked skin is going to erase a lifetime of memories and love. This is already a masterclass in delusion. Make it make sense.
I was going to a beautiful restaurant to have something to eat and run into him. To me, that I was his daughter, and he showed me the tattoo on his leg, father.
Whoa, the raw emotion here is staggering. Imagine trying to enjoy a meal and a stranger approaches with this life-altering bombshell, and his grand proof is some ink on his skin. She is completely blindsided by this, and honestly, who wouldn't be? The audacity is just off the charts. This poor woman's world is being turned completely upside down in public. What a guy.
Started dating in 76, and then I left for about 8 months. When I left and I came back, Donna was born. She was about 2 old.
With Ms. Andrews' mother.
Right.
Mr. Glenn tells an interesting tale. He says he was in a relationship, but had to leave town for 8 months, came back and saw his girlfriend with a baby. He claims she kept him in the dark and never told him the baby was his. So he had to stay away because he had no confirmation, but still always knew in his heart the baby was his. Whoa, that's a lot to unpack.
Your father is dark complected, muscular built, and he's a very cocky. Now, when this man approached me and told me, I'm thinking this guy's on this plane with me because I know, and it sure isn't that.
Hold on. A psychic on a plane told her that her real father was a dark-skinned, muscular, cocky man? And that description just happens to match Mr. Glenn? Are you kidding me right now? So we are bringing psychic readings into a court of law as supporting evidence? This is pure, unadulterated chaos.
You felt like Mr. Glenn were an outsider looking in, and you felt like she had a good family.
Yes.
She was growing up,
went to
and everything right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, Judge Lake. Say it louder for the people in the back. The man who raised her was there for everything. Graduations, life events, all of it. Meanwhile, Mr. Glenn was just an outsider looking in, thinking about her every day but doing absolutely nothing. He stayed away because her life was good? What kind of twisted logic is that? This is just peak foolishness.
Keep in mind that Donna and Yolanda, if he had thought that he was her father, okay, keep in mind my mother had to get pregnant again to have my baby sister. And so if he's her to be a father.
Here comes the sister, and she is not playing games. She is calling him out directly for his impeccable timing. Isn't it convenient that he only shows up now, after the man who was a real father to Donna has passed away? She is asking all the right questions, and he has no good answers. The family is united against this man's sudden appearance.
And then it's like a slap in the face to my stepfather who's passed on. After he's died, why didn't he mention it when he was alive so everybody's passed away?
The sister is doubling down, calling this whole situation a complete slap in the face to her stepfather, the man who was actually there, and she is 100% correct. The disrespect is unbelievable. For 30 years, this man, William, had the opportunity to be a father, and he chose not to. Now he wants to walk back in after all this time?
Miss Andrews, what
I
are
would
your
not
hopes?
call you that. Like, okay, if it does come back that you are my father, don't expect me to call you dad.
I wouldn't look for you to call me dad.
Don't expect me to get emotionally wrapped up into you.
Wow, Donna is making her position crystal clear before the results are even read. She is telling him that even if he is biologically her father, he will never be her dad. The emotional line has been drawn. This is not about finding a new father for her. This is about getting a painful, confusing answer. The tension is absolutely through the roof.
Mr. Glenn, you are her father.
Oh my God.
Mr. Hoyer, after 14 years of being in foster care, you desperately searched for your father. Sadly, that search ended when you learned that your alleged father, Mr. James Horn, was tragically killed.
What a gut-wrenching start, people. This young man, Mr. Hoyer, endures 14 years in the foster care system, desperately searching for a father he has never known. He finally gets a lead, only to discover the man is tragically deceased. Now, the man's family is rejecting him completely. The stakes could not be higher. He isn't just looking for an answer, he is looking for a family.
My mom used to be a stripper. I feel that if I did know my biological father, my life would have been totally different.
And so you were told that Mr. Horn was one of the men that potentially could be your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
and the plot thickens immediately. Mr. Hoyer's mother was a stripper, and the first person to ever suggest this paternal connection was his mother's new boyfriend, not his mother, but her new partner, who just happened to see a resemblance. What a completely reliable and not at all suspicious source of life-altering information. This is already shaping up to be an absolute spectacle.
So this is a photo of the man you were told is your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you look at this picture, do you see yourself?
I do in some ways. I see myself through the smile and through the forehead and the eyebrows.
Miss Porter, all of this time, these years before your brother passed, he never mentioned having a child.
Never.
So apparently Ms. Porter says her brother never mentioned having a child even before he died. In fact, on his deathbed, he told his family that he'd never had any children, and Ms. Porter is taking her brother's deathbed assertion at face value. I mean, dying men are famous for telling the truth and having clear minds in their last moments. Way to go, Ms. Porter.
My parents, they never accepted biracial relationships. Never. So we kept it a secret. We were really in love.
Had you planned to marry?
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
Seriously? A forbidden love? How dramatic. Ms. Gentry claims her own family's racism is why she never told Mr. Horn's family about their supposed relationship or the child. A secret so profound that apparently not a single person on his side of the family ever heard her name. This story sounds completely plausible and not at all like a convenient excuse.
The time we ever seen her was 2 weeks after the funeral. 2 weeks after my brother was put in the ground, this young lady came and knocked at my mother's door. She says, "I have your brother's child." I'm like,
Hold on, the story is changing again. Ms. Porter claims the mother showed up on their doorstep with the baby just 2 weeks after her brother's funeral to announce the big news. This is pure chaos. So, was it a top secret affair hidden from everyone? Or was it a poorly timed public announcement? One of these narratives is completely fabricated, a masterclass in conflicting stories.
it's sad this young man got to hear what we got to say. But when she told him anything about my brother, it was awful. She told him he was a crackhead. She told him he was a drunk. She told him he wasn't no good.
Whoa! The accusations are just flying now. Ms. Porter claims the mother told her own son that his potential father was a crackhead and a drunk. Then she denies it, and the shouting erupts. This is not a courtroom, this is a three-ring circus, and these two are the main attractions. The absolute foolishness on display here is completely off the charts. This is truly peak absurdity.
Always be his mother.
You might always be the mother, but you're not a mama. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this is a lot on my chest. It's a story to tell that I want the world to know how this woman did his child right here when he could have been at our household. He could have been with us.
And there it is, the knockout punch. You may be the mother, but you're not a mama. That is a direct hit, people. Ms. Porter is not holding back one bit, unloading decades of frustration right in the middle of the courtroom. You can feel the raw history and the pain in that single brutal sentence. What a show-stopping moment of pure confrontation.
Now this first set of photos is Mr. Hoyer at 8 years old and a young picture of Mr. Horn. Do you see a resemblance?
Not in that one.
Do you see yourself at all?
I can see myself in the smile.
Okay, everyone, look at this. The side-by-side photo comparison, the resemblance is undeniable. Even Ms. Porter, who has been fighting this tooth and nail, can see it. The doubt is starting to creep in. This single picture might just change everything we thought we knew about this case. The plot is thickening right before our very eyes, folks.
Doctor comes and tells you you got to pull the plug on your child. You got to make a decision knowing that he don't have nothing left behind. Nothing. No kids, no nothing.
The emotion is just pouring out now. Ms. Porter is completely breaking down. After all that anger and denial, she's crying that she desperately wants him to be her nephew, to have a piece of her brother back. This is heart-wrenching. The stakes are now high for everyone in this room. What a tense, gut-punching moment to witness just before the judge finally reveals the truth.
That Mr. Horn is not likely your biological father.
Henderson, you claim that you believed Mr. Henderson was your biological father, but at the age of 15, Mr. Rycraw claimed he is your dad. You are doubtful and have opened today's case to get the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
For her entire life, Ms. Mercedes Henderson believed one man was her father. Then at 15, a completely different man shows up claiming the title. Now, everyone is here to sort out this absolute mess. This is not just a family tree, people. This is a whole twisted forest of confusion. The drama is wild.
When we met, I just felt it. I just felt that she was my daughter.
And then just to know that my sister's resting in her grave.
So this man's entire claim is based on a feeling? He just felt she was his daughter. Is that how biology works? You just get a gut feeling and suddenly you're a dad? Kudos for confidence, I suppose. But this is a paternity court, not a psychic hotline. This is absolutely staggering. Truly. What a guy.
Ashley, when I talked to her, I told her, if it's a girl, it's ours. If it's the boy, you gotta go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Did he just admit to giving his wife an ultimatum based on the baby's gender? If it's a girl, we keep it. If it's a boy, you have to leave. Are you kidding me right now? That is a level of unhinged logic I cannot comprehend. This man's reasoning is completely off the charts. What an absolutely wild thing to say out loud.
My sister, when it comes to telling the truth on certain things, they'll beat around the bush. And like she didn't answer him when she came back, she didn't tell her the truth either.
So the aunt, the architect of all this drama, is defending her decision to drop this bomb. She says her sister would beat around the bush and wouldn't tell the truth. Isn't that something? One sister hides the truth and the other decides to reveal it in the most chaotic way possible. This is a full-blown TV drama unfolding right before our eyes, not a family.
Tell the truth.
Because they both was in a relationship. They both was married. And then when my sister called and told me, and I said, it's not my place to tell.
And there she goes. The aunt says her sister was having an affair with a married man. So, we have a husband who suspects his wife, a wife who was cheating, and a lover who was also married. This is a 5-star, premium-grade mess. Everyone. It is a tangled web of cooked-up lies and secrets.
I was tired of just beating around the bush, not saying nothing about it. So I went on and told her, do you want to meet your daddy?
So you called her that day?
I called her that day.
And Miss Henderson?
I asked him, did he want to meet his daughter? I called him, and he came to Revival, and I said, you want to meet?
Hold on, the aunt is the one who orchestrated this entire meeting? She just decided to call her niece and say, hey, come meet your real father. The audacity is incredible. She just blew up decades of family structure on a whim, creating pure chaos for everyone involved. This is not normal behavior.
Miss Henderson, the other man, the third man, the man your mother told you is your biological father. This court was able to get a hold of those test results.
What in the world is happening now? Judge Lake reveals the court got the results from a third man tested and the aunt hits the floor. A third man and the aunt just collapses. This is fast becoming weird. We need a paramedic for the drama because this situation has officially gone off the rails. You cannot make this kind of thing up, folks.
Do you believe she's your sister?
I don't. I just don't have that connection with her that I have with my other siblings. Can't say that she isn't my sister, but I just don't believe that she's my sister.
Now, LaToya Rycroft Banks, the other daughter, is here, and she says she does not believe Mercedes is her sister. She says she feels no connection to her whatsoever. Just when you thought this could not get any more complicated, they add another layer of doubt and family drama right before the results. You can almost hear how hard everyone's heart is beating. This is absolutely incredible.
Mr. Henderson, you are not the father. The next result, Mr. Rycroft, you are not the father.
Here we go, the moment of truth. Judge Lake has the results. Mr. Henderson, you are not the father. Okay, so it has to be Mr. Rycroft, right? Wrong. Mr. Rycroft, you are also not the father. Neither of them. A double negative. The devastation is real. This poor woman's entire world just crumbled. What a heartbreaking conclusion.
Miss Henderson, do you need to just sit down? You want to sit down, honey? Mr. Deggs, you are here today hoping you are the biological father of the defendant's 3-year-old son, Jason. You have petitioned the court for a paternity test because you claim your ex, Ms. Guerin, first led you to believe that you were Jason's dad.
Let's dive right in. This man is here hoping he is the father to Jason. He wants this. But wait, the mother of this child waits until the baby is 6 months old to casually mention, oh, by the way, you might not be the dad. 6 entire months of this man bonding with a child. The audacity is already at astronomical levels.
Truck loaded up with everything. And I went upstairs to grab my last box, and my best friend at the time pulled me aside and told me him and my brother had both slept with me.
Whoa! So, not only did Megan cheat on him, even his own best friend pulled him aside to confess? And the confession is that both the best friend and his brother slept with her? Are you kidding me? This is a full-blown three-ring circus of family destruction. What an absolute bombshell to drop on someone. My jaw is on the floor.
Beginning of our relationship. It was even before we were a month together.
Ms. Guerin, boy, before you get to what he did, I want to know, is it true?
Yes, it is true. I do admit that I did do those things. I did cheat on him with his best friend.
And here it comes. I cheated because he cheated. Ms. Guerin says she cheated because Mr. Deggs cheated barely 1 month into their relationship. Well, folks, you know how the old saying goes, an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. And in the case of Deggs versus Guerin, the blind played with nukes, and now everybody has to deal with it.
It's not because I'm a bad person. At the time, I was lacking affection from him. He was never home. He was always...
I work, Your Honor. I work full time to make sure that her nails and her hair get done.
Here we go, the semblance card. So her defense for her actions is that she was lacking affection because he was working to provide a life for them. The nerve of that excuse is staggering. Poor you. Your man was busy earning money to support you, so you had to find comfort elsewhere. Make it make sense, people. This is top-tier delusion on full display.
How did you end up with his brother, too?
His brother, I was really young at the time. And
you keep talking about how young you were. If you were so young, you shouldn't have been sleeping with everybody.
Let's just pause and appreciate the judge's face. The pure, unadulterated shock when he confirms it was his best friend and his brother. You can see the moment her brain has to reboot to process this level of treachery. This isn't just a simple case anymore. It's a tragedy playing out in real time. She's staring into the abyss of human foolishness. And frankly, so are we all.
He was hurt, Ms. Guerin?
I'm not the only one that in this
I had a rough childhood.
I know, but had to deal with so many different women.
But you're the one that's here with a paternity issue regarding the child in question.
Okay, this reaches peak insanity. Ms. Guerin claims the only reason she waited 6 months to confess was because she wanted the family united after sleeping with his brother and best friend. How does that compute? She purposefully deceived him for months, letting him connect with the child, then pulled this? This isn't wanting a family. This sounds more like manipulation 101. Wow.
The women that you
you love your free time and hanging out with this dude here because you left Jason for 3 months with your mom and me so that I could take care of him.
Can you believe this? Now a new boyfriend, Christopher, enters the chat. And not only that, but Jason claims she left their son with her mother for 3 entire months so she could be with this new guy. 3 months. What kind of mother just abandons her child like that to start a new romance? The plot thickens, and it is a thick, murky, and deeply unsettling plot.
She texted him and was like, you better keep your job, honey, because all I want is your money.
I never,
ever said
that.
And she was like, all I want is your money. All
I made my own money.
Kudos to Dominique for showing up with the receipts. So, while Jason was trying to build a life with her, Megan was allegedly texting him things like, all I want is your money? Isn't that something? It paints a very clear picture, doesn't it? Suddenly her motives seem a lot less about lacking affection and a lot more about financial convenience. What a truly spectacular move from this woman.
I want to be in Jason's life. I love Jason.
That's why
with all my heart and soul.
And if he is your son, are you willing to step up?
Yes, of
in
course.
every way?
In every way.
And if he's not?
If he's not, then it's going to be really hard for me.
Jerome, I think it's time for the results.
Here we are, the moment of truth. The judge has the results in her hand, and the tension is absolutely electric. Look at Jason's face. The man is praying, he is tormented, his entire world is hanging in the balance. And then look at Megan. Is that a smirk? The contrast is just wild. One person is hoping for a family, the other seems to be anticipating a victory.
Mr. Day, you are not the father. Ms. England, you say that you and Mr. Kaiser have been together for 6 years, have a 3-year-old son together, but claim he's now denying your 6-month-old son Isaac, and you're here to prove that he is the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, people, we are diving right in. Mrs. England says she took this man from ashy to classy. What a way to start. That is some top-tier pettiness, and we are barely 1 minute into the show. She claims she turned him into the man he is, and now he is not supporting their baby. The audacity is off the charts already. This is going to be a wild one.
Y'all, she knows why. She knows why I denied the baby. She stayed gone for 3 months with this other man.
Did you move in with another man,
Yes,
Ms.
Your Honor.
England?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
So wait, you all in a relationship. I want to get the
Yes,
background.
Did he just say she stayed with another man for 3 entire months? And she just admitted it, no hesitation whatsoever. What is happening? So, they were in a relationship, but she just took a 3-month vacation to live with some other guy? Make it make sense. The judge looks completely stunned. This is pure foolishness from the jump.
The man she was cheating on me with.
I was not cheating. I never wanted
She said she wasn't cheating on me, right? But she had the other man's phone number long before she moved out.
Here we go with the semantics card. It was not cheating, she says, because they were separated. Seriously? She was supposedly reconciling with him while still seeing the other man, but it's not cheating? This is a masterclass in spinning your own web of lies. Kudos to her for the mental gymnastics, but nobody is buying that. He looks at her like she's a lying alien from Mars, as he should.
Your Honor, my sister passed away, and instead of this man right here taking care of me and hugging me and telling me everything would be okay, he started to fight and left.
But
He left. He wasn't there. The other man is the one who was texting my phone saying, "Are you okay?"
So now the story is that her sister passed away and he was not there for her, which is why she went to the other man for comfort. What a move. Is she actually looking for emotional support, or is she looking for something else? He says he was there for her. This is peak manipulation. Someone is not telling the whole story here.
Your Honor, on the 25th of March is the last time I had been sexual with the other man.
On the 25th of March,
Yes.
you were intimate with the other guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep going.
Okay.
The calendar of chaos. Get this. She was intimate with the other guy on March 25th, but got back with Mr. Kaiser on the 28th, and they were intimate for 5 straight days. 5. She has this timeline mapped out like a military operation. The level of detail is absolutely staggering. What is actually going through her mind to present this as solid proof? My mind is completely blown right now.
I did not have intercourse with that man anymore.
We slept together from the 28th until the 31st, right?
No, till the 1st.
She left on the 30th with the other guy.
And the plot thickens into a soup of mess. He just claimed she left again on April 3rd and went back to the other guy for 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? This timeline is more convoluted than a soap opera. So she was bouncing between these 2 men like a pinball. No wonder he is sitting here demanding a DNA test. This whole situation is just a dumpster fire of bad decisions.
He's also tongue-tied. Genetic trait. The baby looks like our 3-year-old child.
Okay.
Same trait.
Okay.
And you're referring to a medical condition.
Yes, ma'am.
She don't know if that guy's father.
That's not true, because I
What if the other guy didn't have it?
Natal teeth. The baby was born with teeth and he is tongue-tied, just like someone in Mr. Kaiser's family. Is this her brilliant closing argument? Love magically determines biology now, does it? The judge is trying so hard to keep a straight face, but you can see the disbelief. This has to be one of the most absurd pieces of evidence ever presented in this courtroom.
Ron, could you please escort Dr. McLaurin into the courtroom? She is a doctor of medical dentistry.
To make sense of the back and forth, Judge Lake brings in an expert witness to either confirm or disprove Ms. England's claim that baby Isaac's natal teeth and tongue tie are genetic. I mean, on the surface, her argument that since Mr. Kisser is tongue-tied and his cousin had natal teeth, the child is his, is completely watertight. In comes the doctor of medical dentistry.
I want that to be my son, Your Honor. I do want it to be my son, but I just want to make sure it's my son. I want to make sure.
That's why you're here. That's
Right.
why you're here. And luckily, thank goodness, I have those results for you.
Here it is, folks, the moment of truth. The judge has the envelope and the tension is incredibly thick. Look at him. He is already breaking down in tears before the results are even read. He is completely convinced this is not his child. She looks like she is about to either explode or faint. This is what it all comes down to. The silence is deafening.
Mr. Kaiser, you are not the father.
You sure?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kaiser.
You sure?
Mr. Wheat, you filed your case because you claim you've been robbed as a father. You are desperate to prove to the defendant that you fathered her 19-year-old daughter, Sierra Sloan.
Robbed of fatherhood? This is an incredible way to start. He feels he was the victim of a grand theft. He is so desperate to prove his paternity after a single night together nearly 2 decades ago. Is this a genuine cry for a lost connection? Or is he just looking to rewrite history? We are about to find out.
Because I was 19, I was young, dumb, and full of eggs, and I was doing me.
Young, dumb, and full of eggs and doing me. I don't think I've ever heard it explained like that.
Young, dumb, and full of eggs. That is a direct quote. You cannot make this up. She delivers this line with the confidence of a CEO presenting a quarterly report. This is a mission statement dressed up as an excuse. What a magnificent, unapologetic explanation for her behavior. And considering that she has paternity doubt for her own daughter, she isn't too far off the mark.
So how many guys were you with during the window of time your daughter was conceived?
4.
4 different guys, and Mr. Wheat is one of them.
Yes.
So can you tell the court, how is it you were with these guys?
Whoa, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 possible fathers? Are you kidding me? This woman was running a paternity lottery and everyone got a ticket. How does one even keep track of that? The logistics are absolutely staggering. This poor girl's family tree isn't a tree. It's a tangled web of confusion. Make it make sense, because right now I cannot.
And into labor?
She called me that day and told me, and I told her I'll come up there in a little bit, okay? Well, my family went up there. I called her back, said, hey, I'm on my way. She told me not to bother.
He was told, don't bother coming to the hospital. Seriously. Imagine believing you might be the father, getting the call that she's in labor, and then being told to just stay home. That is cold. It's a calculated move to push him out of the picture entirely. What was her endgame here? To simply erase one of the potential candidates from the equation? This is pure pettiness.
Ryder testified that they went to go see Sierra in the nursery. What was their response?
Well, when they came back to my house, all of them said, congratulations, you're a dad. All right, well, I didn't believe them. Mom came in.
Mr. Wheat says he had doubts, but when she said she was in labor, he sent his family to be with her, and his mother came back home, asked him if he wanted to see his baby, and pulled out a picture of him as a baby. That's how much his mom said Sierra looked like him. The resemblance was uncanny almost, so he simply went with his mother's intuition. But intuition is one thing, and genetics is another.
Yes, Your Honor. Mac Grider did. It's been on and off drama for 19 years.
Well, Mac Grider is here, and he believes he could be Sierra's father. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Grider into the courtroom?
Now a third man enters the arena. It is an absolute circus in here. Mr. Grider, the man on the birth certificate, now joins the chaos. The situation is so absurd that even Judge Lake appears to be losing her patience. This episode is an absolute clown show, and we have front row seats.
Yes, ma'am. I was there, went to the doctor appointments. I named her, I signed the birth certificate.
And Sierra, I see your face. This must be so confusing, honey.
So Mr. Grider claims he was there for doctor appointments and even named the baby Sierra. What a guy. Meanwhile, David was just a one-night encounter from a club. This completely changes the narrative. One man was building a life with her, while the other was just a memory. The odds are certainly not looking good for our original plaintiff, are they? This gets more complicated by the minute.
I think when I was 15, my mom said that I look like David because apparently me and him have the freckle line. And then I would sit there and smile sometimes the way he did and lay down the way he did and everything.
The freckle line excuse is absurd. Her mother literally told her she resembled David because they share, of all things, freckles. That is the most creative, manipulative reasoning I have ever heard. She has been feeding her daughter these cooked up lies for years just to keep the confusion going. This poor young woman deserves so much better.
It would be nice if he was, or if Mac was still. I would like to get to know him better too.
And so, Mr. Grider, why do you feel emotional?
A lot. It's just a lot right now, going through all this.
This is the moment of truth. Look at the pain on Sierra's face. After 19 years of living in a state of uncertainty, she is finally about to get an answer. Both men are filled with hope and anxiety. One believes his mother's word, the other clings to a one-night possibility. The tension is palpable. Who will it be? This is what it all comes down to, folks.
Mr. Grider, you are not the father. Mr. Wheat, you are not the father.
You can't even send me money. Call your kids. Make sure they're okay. Christmases, nothing. Birthdays, nothing. Absolutely nothing. No call, no happy birthday, no Merry Christmas.
Ms. Garrett wants nothing more from Mr. Freeman than him being present in his children's lives in the littlest ways possible. No Christmas presents, no birthday wishes or gifts, no regular calls. Even a father in jail would do better than Mr. Freeman is doing to his kids. But before Mr. Freeman gets all the blame, let's hear Mr. Freeman's side of the story.
You say the defendant has taken you down the paternity court road once before, and now you are here denying you fathered Braden, her 1.5-year-old son. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garrett, you claim that you were only with Mr. Freeman during the window of conception and have no doubts that the DNA will prove that he is the father of your youngest son.
Mr. Freeman claims he's been through the same situation before with Ms. Garrett, and he knows better than anyone how it works, which is making him not let his guard down this time. There's Ms. Garrett, on the other hand, claiming Mr. Freeman was the only man she had sexual relations with during the window of conception, and that automatically makes him the only potential father to her child. Ms. Garrett is also suing Mr. Freeman for a birthday party she threw for the child. Mr. Freeman is only getting out of this if the DNA test result comes back negative.
Yes, Your Honor.
Additionally, you are countersuing for $501.13 for a birthday party you claim Mr. Freeman failed to pay for.
Mr. Freeman sheds more light on the previous DNA test situation, saying another dude turned up where they were supposed to take the test. That must have made Mr. Freeman feel like a fool. What do you mean another man is present? Oh well, Ms. Garrett has a different story, as she claims she already mentioned to Mr. Freeman there was a possibility of the first child having a different father. Anyway, may the Lord be praised, since Mr. Freeman ended up being the child's father. That's cool, but here we go again.
No, I admit that I was sleeping with someone else. I always knew that he was, okay, well, he and I weren't in a committed relationship.
We never ever, only time.
Everyone's with Judge Lauren with the way she rolled her eyes. Ms. Garrett says she had no doubt, but another man was present at the DNA testing. Okay, ma'am. There seems to be a lot going on between Ms. Garrett and Mr. Freeman. Ms. Garrett is talking about Ms. Freeman not present in his kids' lives, but still informing the judge that he's also not sending money for the kids. Mr. Freeman wants to understand if it's about his presence or financial support, but that doesn't make any sense because he's supposed to be physically involved and financially responsible for his kids, like good fathers do.
Bryson was born. He got into another relationship, but he and I, as always, was sleeping together. And I got pregnant again. He decided to leave that relationship, get back with me.
Why?
Okay, Mr. Freeman's doubt seems valid at this point. Ms. Garrett and Mr. Freeman have been in an off-and-on relationship, which may have been working for them, but Mr. Freeman claims they were not in a relationship when the child whose paternity is being questioned was conceived. Mr. Freeman believes Ms. Garrett may have been getting her engine oiled by someone else, who may be the child's father. While that may be right, Mr. Freeman was also oiling Ms. Garrett's engine, and that puts him on the potential father's list too.
Mr. Freeman support his kids?
No, ma'am.
I don't support my kids at all.
No, ma'am.
What you mean? I don't? Because I don't give you money?
Well, how? Well, how? You barely see them.
Do you actually really think you can sit around, man, and tell me, oh, well, my family go do this to you, my family go do this?
Ms. Garrett says Mr. Freeman doesn't support his kids, but Mr. Freeman believes otherwise. Mr. Freeman draws the line at that point as he claims he does support his kids, but Ms. Garrett is saying he doesn't because he doesn't give her money. That may have been happening before, but Mr. Freeman seems to have changed considering his explanation of having issues with Ms. Garrett's family.
I need to know.
Explain your doubt.
We wasn't together when he was conceived. We wasn't together. We just weren't together. She was sleeping with other people just like I was.
Were you at the hospital for the birth?
Yes, I cut the umbilical cord.
Mr. Freeman's doubt remains the same. Mr. Freeman thinks Ms. Garrett was sleeping with another person during the window of conception, and that makes him unsure if he's the father. That's reasonably valid. Mr. Freeman's argument gets more solid as he mentions he was never shown or asked to sign the birth certificate even after he had cut the umbilical cord. Okay, now that's shady, because why? But Ms. Garrett says it happened because Mr. Freeman left the hospital when he didn't have any reason to leave.
I feel like he didn't want to be on the birth certificate anyway because neither one of them have his last name.
Why don't they have my last name? Is it because I said I don't want neither one of my sons to have my last name?
No, I said I don't want my sons to have your last name because you don't deserve it.
Tell the truth.
He don't deserve it.
Ms. Garrett sounds like she's clowning herself because what does Ms. Garrett mean by not wanting her kids to have Mr. Freeman's last name because he doesn't deserve it, but she keeps popping babies for him? The person that doesn't deserve it? That's laughable. Anyway, Ms. Garrett is also angry Mr. Freeman wasn't present at the birthday party he had promised to attend. That may not mean much to Mr. Freeman, as he says he doesn't recall having such an agreement, but Ms. Garrett is getting her money back for that one.
For that party and everything.
Braden's first birthday party, you weren't even there. Braden, not Bryson's. You weren't even there. How did you cook anything? You didn't even come, and you were in the house right when we left out. Well, I'm leaving out with all these party favors, cake and everything. I'm leaving our house that we were living together in, and I'm like, are you gonna come on? Because he had locked his keys in his car when we were leaving.
The waterworks are in motion as Ms. Garrett gets emotional about the situation, but Mr. Freeman is still trying to process the memories he doesn't remember that Ms. Garrett claimed to have happened. Before it gets all messy, we should get to the results to know if Mr. Freeman is also the biological father to Ms. Garrett's second child.
Freeman versus Garrett. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Freeman, you are the father.
It's funny how some fathers don't want to be present in their children's lives in any way, but some other fathers, they are persistent about being present in their children's lives, even if it means that they have to drag their potential child's mother to paternity court. Hopefully, Mr. Butterfield's intuition about this case will be correct.
Butterfield, you've summoned your ex-girlfriend, Ms. Bracknell, to paternity court to prove that you are the father of her 2-month-old daughter, Cara. You say she's denying you are Cara's dad because she's worried her family will be torn apart when the results prove you are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bracknell, you say there's no way Mr. Butterfield is your child's father.
Mr. Butterfield claims he knows without a doubt that he is the biological father to Ms. Bracknell's child, and she's only denying it to save face. There's Ms. Bracknell on the other side of the story claiming Mr. Butterfield didn't father her child, and he's only trying to ruin her new relationship with her fiancé, Mr. Dallas. It's about to be one of those tough cases for Judge Lauren.
I believe Cara's your daughter.
Me and Mrs. Bracknell had a residence together for almost a year. We did try to, have a baby together before.
Okay, so you live together.
Thanks for the gift. That sounds like Ms. Bracknell just used Mr. Butterfield to get what she wanted. Mr. Butterfield looks pained that he couldn't be there for the birth of the child. Interestingly, while Mr. Butterfield is going through an emotional phase in the stand, Ms. Bracknell could be seen trying to calm Mr. Dallas. That's confusing. Does Mr. Dallas think he's the father?
So, Ms. Bracknell, you were previously in a relationship with Mr. Butterfield?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was.
Then you went back in a relationship with Mr. Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Ms. Bracknell? So Ms. Bracknell was going back and forth between Mr. Butterfield and Mr. Dallas? Okay, that gives us the backstory to why Ms. Bracknell was trying to calm Mr. Dallas down. Ms. Bracknell says she wasn't pregnant till she broke up with Mr. Butterfield, which helps her know the child doesn't belong to him. Mr. Butterfield does not seem to agree with the irregular period story, but who knows?
All the features of my other kids are in that little girl.
Like what features? All your kids, all your boys have blonde hair.
The cheeks, the nose, the ears.
The cheek, the nose. Look at her.
So, Beautiful. Mr. Dallas, you say you are Cara's father. You believe you're her biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
He is.
Maybe physical features can play a major role in identifying a child's parent, but it definitely isn't 100% certainty. But Ms. Bracknell doesn't seem to know about that. There's Mr. Dallas that furthers his own theory of being the child's father with claims of the timeline of when Ms. Bracknell and Mr. Butterfield were together. Mr. Dallas says it doesn't match the timeline of when the baby was conceived. That is a fair point, but who knows what Ms. Bracknell has done behind Mr. Dallas's back?
You look at this calendar. Mm-hmm. Is this accurate? Is this when the relationship ended and when she went back to Mr. Dallas?
No, Your Honor, it's not.
It's not.
No.
What?
And there it is. Mr. Bracknell was indeed having a good time with Mr. Butterfield behind Mr. Dallas's back. Maybe Ms. Bracknell thought a quickie wouldn't lead to a baby, considering how easy Mr. Butterfield claimed she used to ask for it. Ms. Bracknell tries to play it off, saying, "Oh, really? Yes, really, Ms. Bracknell."
You have how many other children together?
We have 4 kids, counting Cara.
4?
No, you have 3 kids.
No,
including...
she is done.
No,
so
you have
shush.
3.
Yeah, I got 4 kids, Your Honor.
No, you have 3.
And Mr. Dallas, have you ever considered how you would react if, in fact, Cara is not your biological child?
You know what, Your Honor? I'm going to love her the same. She's my little daughter. She's going to be my little daughter. I'm going to raise her my life.
She is not your daughter.
I'll raise her.
Nothing's going to be changed.
Nothing's going to change. I love her to death, just like I do now, before today.
Ow. Ms. Bracknell must be a lucky girl seeing how 2 men are fighting to be one of her children's fathers. Mr. Butterfield wouldn't even allow Mr. Dallas or Ms. Bracknell claim the child is one of theirs. Mr. Butterfield claims he'd even go as far as changing the child's name after the DNA test proves that's his daughter. That's one hell of a determined man.
That's a Facebook post that they posted on that the baby was even. That's before I even knew.
It says, this little girl is ready.
Yep, that little girl is ready right there. And then I also, the only thing I got was a text message from, of a friend saying of her sister holding my daughter.
And that's the only way you knew about this pregnancy? Otherwise, you knew nothing about it?
There's no reason.
She hid all of her pregnancies. She even hid the one from her youngest son, Carson. She hid from him.
No,
he wasn't even at her youngest son.
We were split up.
Mr. Butterfield got to know through a Facebook post there are other men. Interesting. Mr. Butterfield says it's like a pattern for Ms. Bracknell to hide pregnancies from the men she had slept with. Ms. Bracknell is holding on to Mr. Dallas's hand like he's about to skip court and leave her alone, but doesn't she even deserve that hearing she cheated on Mr. Butterfield on his birthday? Ms. Bracknell says it's all a lie, but really?
After that, he texted my mom saying, I'm coming to get that girl. Just all threats.
Well, I want to be in my daughter's life. Why wouldn't I be?
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that if she is your daughter, but we'll see.
Yes, we were. We'll see today, won't we? That's why we're here.
Ms. Bracknell agrees that there's nothing wrong with Mr. Butterfield wanting to be in his daughter's life, if she's truly his daughter, but says we will see if she's truly his daughter. Maybe it's time we see if Ms. Bracknell has been right all along, or Mr. Butterfield knows what he's being talking about too.
Butterfield versus Bracknell. Dallas. Old Cara Dallas. Dallas or Mr. Butter is biological father. Cara's biological father, Mr. Butterfield.
It's always a better idea for a man to zip up his pants in many situations. The same logic applies to women to avoid stories that touch after 9 months. While one party may be interested in having kids, the other party may not be interested, and all roads lead to paternity court, like Mr. Taylor and Ms. Orr in front of Judge Lauren in this case.
Taylor, you say that you had a whirlwind 2-week romance with the defendant, and after it ended, she called to tell you that she was pregnant with your child. You say another man was at the hospital for the baby's birth, and therefore your DNA test will come back negative. Is that correct?
Mr. Taylor claims he's certain he didn't father Ms. Orr's child as opposed to what Ms. Orr claims. Mr. Taylor claims another man was present during the birth of Ms. Orr's child, and that makes him know the DNA test result would come back negative. However, Ms. Orr claims Mr. Taylor is just spewing nonsense as he knows he fathered her child, but he's denying it because he doesn't want to be responsible for the child. Whew.
Claim this is not the first time you've tried to get a DNA test from the defendant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Explain.
I have tried to get a DNA test from the moment I found out about Eric. And she has denied it, dodged it every which way she can. Like, she's argued with me, said that he looks just like me. Why would I need DNA?
Ms. Orr, are you trying to avoid the DNA test for Eric?
No, Your Honor. I believe.
Mr. Taylor says he had tried to get a DNA test from Ms. Orr, but she's been denying it, claiming the baby looks just like him. Okay, that's suspicious, but in the same space, Ms. Orr says it's not even like that, as she believes Mr. Taylor should pay for it and get it done if he's so pressed about the baby's paternity.
Offline, I met her offline.
What's that mean? You're on a dating site?
Dating website.
Okay,
June
and then
14th.
you all decided to meet in person?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. June 14th.
Okay, and so you had sex with Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Unprotected sex?
Yes.
After meeting on a dating site?
Yes.
And meeting for the first time?
Yes.
You all know you wrong. Mr. Taylor.
Having sex unprotected for the first time after meeting on a dating site? Now this is what we are talking about concerning zipping up. Mr. Taylor and Ms. Orr went on to have sex multiple times during their 2-week romance. The honeymoon phase now seems to be over after they got the consequence of their pleasurable action.
Mr. Taylor, the only man you were intimate with, Ms. Orr.
There's other men, but at the time, Mr. Taylor was the only one that I slept with when I was off my birth control.
No, Your Honor.
Darren, when I got pregnant around August, Your Honor.
Okay. Take me to the moment where you realize you're pregnant.
Oh really? There were other men? Okay, Ms. Orr. Ms. Orr agrees to other men being in the picture, but Mr. Taylor was the man she was intimate with when she was off birth control. That's a valid reason to think Mr. Taylor is the father, but can we be sure Ms. Orr is being honest? Maybe, maybe not.
Could be, then you said I told him it is. Which one is it?
It is.
Mr. Taylor, do you remember the story going that way?
She told me it was mine, yes, but I did not agree to them terms, no, because I myself knew of 3 other different possibilities.
No,
she had
there's
been
no
with.
other
It's conception, not a contract. Jerome, he said he did not agree to those terms, okay?
Ms. Orr claims she's certain Mr. Taylor is her child's biological father, but he didn't know the baby was born until after a week. That's another reason to be suspicious of Ms. Orr's actions. Ms. Orr agrees with other men in the picture, but she's certain Mr. Taylor is the father, but couldn't care less if he was at the birth. That's weird, but maybe Ms. Orr has a good reason for that.
I had a health problem. My son was born 6 weeks early, and I was gonna wait till Eric got out the hospital.
Okay, but still, it took a whole week for you to get in contact with him?
Yes, he's
for
lucky,
you to tell
lucky that I even told him, because he wasn't there during the pregnancy or none of my doctor's appointments.
Okay, so wait.
I wasn't there because she had told me about the other possibilities that could be Eric's dad.
Oh, what did she tell you about other possibilities, Mr. Taylor?
Ms. Orr says it happened so fast. That must have happened faster than a jet's speed. Ms. Orr says the male that was present was supposed to be her child's godfather, and it was even a family member that contacted the supposed godfather, and the baby came 6 weeks earlier than the due date. Okay, all of these may be true, but what's with informing Mr. Taylor a week later? That's a little bit to the extreme, but Ms. Orr says he already wasn't trying to be in the child's life.
In the hospital with Eric when I first went to meet him.
This one says, little surprise for who didn't know, met my son Eric for the first time tonight, so blessed. Keep negativity to yourself. And this is you holding baby Eric.
Your Honor,
And then the next one you say, father like son, with a heart, and you're holding the baby.
Right, Your Honor. That was on her Facebook.
And then the next one says, love my son.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then the next one says...
Now that doesn't look like a man that doesn't want to be involved in his child's life, as opposed to Mr. Taylor's claim in the beginning. Those Facebook posts mean Mr. Taylor was interested in being present at some point, but something changed.
It made me have doubt that he was not mine.
How did she give you that doubt?
Because she told me to take the pictures of her son off Facebook. Your Honor, she's basically harassed me that this is nothing but my child. I have known from day one, this is your child. She has messaged me constantly, this is your child. Why won't you answer the phone for your child?
Yes, and then you put the pictures up of your child and she tells you to take them down. Oh, so Miss Orr, wait a minute now. You are maintaining here in court that he is the biological father. Why would you tell him to take...
Mr. Taylor retracted his fatherly duties after Ms. Orr broke his heart by telling him to take her son's pictures off his Facebook page. Ms. Orr defends her action, claiming Mr. Taylor was posting all of that, but still wanted a DNA test. Oh well, that's confusing, but here they are for a DNA test result. Let's get to it.
Oh, Taylor versus Orr. When it comes to 6-week-old Eric Orr, Mr. Taylor, you are not the father.
A woman trying to trick a man she's still in love with mostly suffers the consequences all by herself, because men can easily dust their clothes and shoes and keep it moving, but a woman? She's stuck with the consequences like Ms. Robinson in this case.
You're here desperately trying to save your relationship. You've petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to the defendant, Mr. Parker, that he...
Ms. Robinson wants to save her relationship as she tries to prove Mr. Parker is the biological father of her daughter. Mr. Parker claims he's not the father because Ms. Robinson has been shady all along, from hiding the pregnancy to hiding the baby, which make Mr. Parker believe there's another man in the picture.
Pretty much determine everything.
Yes, Your Honor, it does.
Explain.
Tanala really means the world to me. She's my everything. She's the reason why I get up every morning to go work and go do something in my life. I also love Ms. Robinson as well, but I refuse to continue this relationship if they're just lies.
So has there been a lot of lies, Ms. Robinson?
Yes, Your Honor, it have been a lot of lies. He didn't know around the time that I have pregnant that I was seeing someone else. That's where the possibility come from that Tanala might not be his.
Is Ms. Robinson trying to blame Mr. Parker for not talking about seeing her cheat on him? That's the highest form of manipulation right there. Mr. Parker says he loves the child so much, but the lies? Mr. Parker doesn't want to deal with that anymore. And the first step to getting to that is by knowing if that's his child.
I met October of 2012. It was a great time. We loved each other, watching Netflix. We was doing everything together. We chilled, do what we do best, But then, she started to be more distant herself and, the calls started not coming in. She didn't start showing up.
Ms. Robinson's audacity should be sold at high prices, because what with the attitude when she was clearly the one who was cheating on two people simultaneously? Mr. Parker thought he was having a great time and building a relationship, but Ms. Robinson started disappearing to catch up with her other relationship.
And I saw her holding hands and hugged up with some other guy, and at first I saw that I suspect that she might have been pregnant, so I did a little hand gesture. I was like, "Hey, are you pregnant?" So she said no, so I left her alone. I went on my separate ways, met somebody else, I did my own thing. I wasn't really too much worried about her. Then all of a sudden, things start to come back around.
No phone call or text messages to inform the supposed father of the child, but till the child was 5 months old, Ms. Robinson must be tripping. Mr. Parker's doubt about him not being sure he's the biological father is valid, but we should hear Ms. Robinson's side of the story too.
To the doctor, they kept telling me it was pancreatitis in my stomach, so the pain kept getting worse and worse. I kept getting sleepier and sleepier. So by the second or third time that I went to the emergency room, they confirmed that I was 4 months pregnant.
Didn't call.
So when you first found out you were pregnant, did you contact Mr. Parker at all?
On my pregnancy, Your Honor, no, I have not.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, Ms. Robinson claimed she thought she had pancreatitis, but it turned out she was 4 months pregnant. Ms. Robinson still didn't bother to reach out to Mr. Parker. Ms. Robinson going through the pregnancy alone is sad, but according to Mr. Parker, it may have been different if she told him. Guess Mr. Parker was still in love even after they parted ways.
That Mr. Parker could also be the father?
No, Your Honor.
Did you tell the other guy that he was the father?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did? Oh, you told the other guy from the park holding hands, you're the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You told him that he was the father? Are you serious?
Yes.
I thought you told me I was the dad.
Okay, Mr. Parker isn't having it. Mr. Parker is as shocked as the judge and the audience. Miss Robinson really did make a mess, and now isn't such a good time to make it all go away. The other man signed the birth certificate. He was made to believe he's the father without knowing about any other possibility. Ms. Robinson might as well give up on her relationship with Mr. Parker at this point.
That just really hurts me right now, Your Honor, because I feel like I love this baby to death for me, and that's all I love.
Just last night when we got into argument, what you say? Oh, if she's not mad, what you gonna do? You gonna leave, right? How you think she's gonna feel if you walk out of her life, been in her life almost?
How you think I feel? What about me?
Mr. Parker is really hurt by Ms. Robinson's action. Mr. Parker said he stepped up to be a man after he realized he might have a child, because that's how his father taught him. Ms. Robinson doesn't seem to appreciate that well enough, even though she's thanking Mr. Parker.
He's good. He's excellent with them too. But lately, it's been a lot of bickering. So I take the bait. I don't want my niece around that. I don't want, he's unsure. But I'm a little mad because there's a lot of things that I didn't know.
Like what?
Like what she just said. It was, she told me that I asked her. I don't want to look like a fool. And I asked her, is there any other guys? Is there any...
Even Ms. Robinson's sister didn't know there was another possibility. Ms. Robinson was really trying to trick everyone, but her secrets are out in paternity court. Ms. Robinson's sister talking about Mr. Parker's finances makes it seem like Ms. Robinson was looking out for herself and her baby financially. That may keep going if the result comes back positive.
Versus Parker pertaining to 23-month-old Nyla. It has been determined by this court, Mr. Parker, you are not Nyla's father.
Oh my God. Woo! I'm sorry.
Teenagers engaging in adult activities may seem to be having fun while the activities are ongoing, but the fun soon turns sour when the consequences come knocking on their doors. Mr. Lee is about to find out the hard way if he's the biological father of the child in this case.
You have brought your teenage son to court to get the results of a paternity test to prove that he is not the father of the defendant's son, Hayden. You say you've always had big plans for your son's future and you're concerned that
Mrs. Johnson is doing the talking for her teenage son as she claims she believes her son is not the father of Ms. Longshore's child, but if he is, the future she had planned for him may be altered. Ms. Longshore is hoping the DNA test result will put an end to her search for her baby's father.
How can you be so certain that your son's not father?
I wasn't around. This happened when I was at work, supposedly, so I don't know what's going on. And then on top of that was another guy tested.
How did you even find out about all of it?
Mrs. Johnson's motherly instinct seems to be on the high side. Mrs. Johnson claims she got to know about the incident after Ms. Longshore had messaged her apologetically informing her about what had happened between her and Ms. Johnson's son. Ms. Longshore says that wasn't how it went while smiling. Ms. Longshore knows something we don't know.
She initially told me that she didn't even think I was the father.
I had sex with a different guy and we thought he was the father, but it turns out he's not. I've written Chevy several times on a DNA test and he doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, speak up, Mr. Lee. It turns out Ms. Longshore was indeed apologetic in her message to Ms. Johnson. Following Mr. Lee's testimony, he claims when he talked with Ms. Longshore, and later changed her story saying he wasn't the father.
Okay. We were never together. It was a friendship type thing, and we ended up having sex one day, and I got pregnant. We were never together. We weren't.
And it wasn't like we ended up having sex. She was coming after this.
Mr. Lee looks like he could have been one of the ladies' favorites in high school, but Ms. Longshore denies chasing after him. There's Ms. Johnson who wants her son to go farther than she ever could, even though she understands the struggles of the teenage mother too. Ms. Johnson's emotions are understandable, but there's a teenage mother who needs Ms. Johnson's son's support.
Her pregnant. We never saw pictures of her pregnant. It was like just a baby out of nowhere.
What? Pregnant. You were tagged in my sonogram before you deleted me. What are you talking about?
You never added me.
Beyonce was.
You never added me.
Yes, I did.
Getting tagged in a sonogram Facebook post is quite funny and may not be the best way to inform a man about his potential unborn child, but it's funnier that Ms. Johnson claims she has a Facebook page to keep tabs on her sons. Teenagers can have other accounts they use to have a different social life, Ms. Johnson.
Full-time job, went right back to work. I was working through my whole pregnancy. As soon as I had the baby, I went back to work.
So, Ms. Johnson, you said you were homeless.
Yes.
What was your childhood like growing up?
My mother had,
Ms. Johnson is a strong woman considering her sad and inspiring story. Mr. Lee knew all of these and still caused a stir that is currently disrupting his supposed planned future. Ms. Longshore cannot be blamed because Mr. Lee should have known better.
He manipulated this?
Yeah, because he was a
That's
virgin.
what you
I
believe?
manipulated.
She was on the prowl.
You
like
think
she was
she seduced you, set you up?
Yep.
Like I never met any of her family. I never went to her house. I didn't even know where she stayed.
You haven't met any of my family?
You
You haven't met none of my family. You didn't meet my brother who went to...
Ow. Ms. Longshore says Mr. Lee can't quit his acting gig because he did like her back and was even telling everybody in school that he did. Mr. Lee is trying to play cool in front of his mother, but it's obvious he's just an act. Ms. Johnson claims she also liked Ms. Longshore at first, until she knew about their secret situation.
Wronging you about it, and I know I made a mistake.
This is how I feel. If you get pregnant, that's your responsibility.
And I am.
Mama's baby, Papa's maybe, sweetie.
And
because
I am.
if he had the baby,
I can play mommy and daddy all day.
I would know that that's my grandchild. I'm sorry.
Mr. Lee isn't even breaking a sweat. It's really Mama's baby, Papa's maybe. Mr. Lee, who seemed to have started the entire thing, is as mute as a baby sleeping. But these two women are the ones that have to scream their lungs out? Okay, it's time to know if it's Papa's baby too.
18-month-old Caden Long. Mr. Lee, it is without question you are Caden's. Let's be respectful. Let's be respectful.
Was I slut when you married me? Was I slut when you slept with me?
You think you've seen it all on Patently Court? Haha, believe me when I say that you have not seen anything yet. Sometimes these parents will leave your jaws hanging from your mouth. These are some of those moments. Grab your popcorn. Ms. McGee has petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to her estranged husband, Mr. McGee, that he is the father of her 4-year-old daughter, Serenity. She claims that her husband vanished 4 years ago after the birth of her child and has since then denied gathering her daughter and refuses to help her financially. This is how the case begins.
Ms. McGee, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to your estranged husband, Mr. McGee, that he is in fact the father of your 4-year-old daughter, Serenity.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim your husband vanished 4 years ago after the birth of your child and has denied fathering your daughter and refuses to help you financially.
Yes, Your Honor.
With that tone, you can tell she's not joking at all. Judge Lauren asks her what life has been with her daughter, and she says that it's been pure hell. Husband Mr. McGee says that he wanted a family with her, but all that changed when she decided to cheat on him with another man.
You haven't helped, Mr. McGee?
Your Honor, I don't believe that Serenity is mine, so I didn't see any need to help.
How you not feel she yours when you know me and you were messing around the time I conceived?
No, because you were messing around with multiple
You was
people.
too, and you talking about multiple people before I even had her.
Phew, Ms. McGee needs to blow off some steam. She looks like she is ready to fight her husband to the last. She says that she told him that there was a possibility that he might not be the father of her child. The reason she believes he is the father, because when she conceived the child, Mr. McGee was the only man she was sleeping with.
I don't believe because not only her, but multiple family members of hers is informing they think that I'm not the father of the child. It so happened that we had a Super Bowl party. So we were drinking and stuff. She ended up falling asleep.
Wow. He does seem to have very valid reasons to doubt the child. He says that he messed around with her phone and he saw a text that showed another man asking about Ms. McGee's daughter as if he was the father. To make things even worse, he saw odd pictures of other men on her phone.
Valid question. Why not request a DNA test before this?
I thought I was in love with her.
You thought you was in love with me?
Yeah, and that...
Being in love with me don't have nothing to do with you not taking care of your responsibilities.
I think we can see why Ms. McGee is pissed to her bones. I can't believe Ms. McGee just said something like that. Mr. McGee says that the only reason he married her was because he thought he was in love with her. Well, Ms. McGee wants a divorce, so clearly this marriage is about to take a nosedive.
Mr. McGee has testified that you told him that Serenity was not his biological child. So do you think Mr. McGee is your grandchild's father?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay, let's just see, the courtroom is on fire right now, and it doesn't look like the flames are going to be put out anytime soon. Mr. McGee tells the judge that Ms. McGee's mother told him that the child did not belong to him. The judge asks Ms. McGee's mother to walk in, and the moment she does, all hell breaks loose.
Your Honor, they were in and out of relationship, and my daughter was just out there. We have a relationship, and she talked to me, okay? And so, no, I do not believe that he's the father because I knew my daughter was out there, and I knew that she had made mistakes.
That is one hell of a confession. Ms. McGee's mother does admit to the fact that she did tell Mr. McGee that the child did belong to him. She says this because she knows that her daughter was sleeping with other men, and the date of conception does not put Mr. McGee as the father of the child.
Your Honor, we have a relationship, and my daughter... We had a relationship until you betrayed me. It's not that I betray her. Your Honor, I only can go by what my daughter said to me. That's it.
And what did she say?
She told me, she said, Mom, I made a mistake.
Looks like the fight is now between Ms. McGee and her mother. Ms. McGee's mother is upset because she raised her daughter in a Christian way and taught her to honor marriage. What's making her really mad is the fact that her daughter stepped out of marriage. But then again, her husband also did the exact same thing. I guess two wrongs don't make a right.
You'd be married with a fiance.
She actually said future fiance.
That means that they're already in a relationship.
Yes, we are, and I've been in a relationship with him for the last 4 years. He stepped up.
So,
hear me out. He stepped up and helped me take care of my child while this one left us bogus.
It really doesn't get worse than it already is. Ms. McGee tells the judge that she has another fiancé and she slept with him during the window of conception without using protection. She says that he is the one who stepped up for her and she plans on spending the rest of her life with him.
You understand we are here discussing the paternity as it relates to Serenity. She said you all had sex within the window of conception, unprotected.
Yes, ma'am.
You agree to that?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, it only takes one encounter for her to get pregnant. Ms. McGee says that she believes that Mr. McGee is the father of her child because she slept with him more times than she slept with her current boyfriend. I wonder in what world that works. Oh well, we've seen just about enough of their yelling. The DNA results are in, and I think it's time we hear the judge's verdict.
The biological father is Mr. McGee.
How you feel now?
Ms. Young and her daughter are in court to prove that their deceased common-law husband, Johnny Wallace, did not cheat on her with Ms. Terrell and father her daughter, Ms. Patton. She says that once the results prove that he is not Ms. Patton's father, she will sue to recoup all of the Social Security benefits from Ms. Patton that she wrongfully received after Mr. Wallace passed away. This is how the case begins.
Ms. Young, you and your daughter are here in court today to prove that your deceased common-law husband, Johnny Wallace, did not cheat on you with Ms. Terrell and father her daughter, Ms. Patton.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is not going to be an easy case. Both parties seem ready to fight to the end. Ms. Terrell claims that her Mr. Wallace never denied her daughter, but she chose to separate her daughter from Mr. Wallace's crazy lifestyle. And that's why it seems like he never accepted her daughter.
All I know is that I've known him since I was a teenager. We lived together. He's my daughter's father. And I never knew of Kaisha being his daughter and still don't till this day.
That must have caught her out of the blue. Ms. Young explains to the judge that the first time she heard about Ms. Terrell's daughter was when her kids were getting Social Security numbers and she got a letter stating that Ms. Terrell's daughter was also applying to get her Social Security number under her late husband, Mr. Wallace.
The Wallace was going with each other. We was together every day. We would go out.
Did you know he was in a relationship with Ms. Young?
Well, he had other baby mamas. He was around with all of them.
Wow, the truth bombs just keep on coming. Ms. Terrell says that Mr. Wallace was with a lot of women while he was still alive. Her daughter then goes on to say that she never had a relationship with Mr. Wallace, and all her life she only had one conversation with him. Looks like he was not a part of her life at all.
He looked at me, and then he talked to my grandmother, and then he came back to me. He said, "Hey, little girl." I said, "Hey." He said, "You know who I am?" And I said, I guess. And he's like, "What does that mean?"
That has to be the weirdest daddy-daughter conversation I've ever heard. Ms. Terrell's daughter breaks down the one and only conversation she had with Mr. Wallace while he was alive. And I just tell you, even little kids have more words come out of their mouths than what she and Mr. Wallace had.
Did you ever hear about Miss Patton?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
What did you hear?
One day Mom said, "You know Kaisha's supposed to be your sister." And I was like, "Yeah, right." Thought she was playing. She was like, "No, for real. She's supposed to be your sister."
Seems like everyone has a totally different story to tell. Ms. Young's daughter tells the judge that she and her father had a conversation about Ms. Terrell's daughter, and he told her that she was not her sister regardless of whatever she heard. After that, they never spoke about Ms. Terrell's daughter again.
Trying to be a child, I was tormented by them.
How?
Well, he say your daddy, but we don't know. Or my thing is, at 35, I'm still living 10 years old.
Ms. Terrell's daughter has one hell of a memory to be able to remember all of this. She says that she can remember way back when she was little that she and Ms. Young's daughter would play together like they were sisters, and the whole thing got very confusing when they started to grow up.
Told me that she was supposed to be my sister. My daddy told me she wasn't my sister. It was just like I made up in my mind that, I wanted to play with her anyway. I wanted to, be friends with her. I liked.
Well, that further complicates things. Ms. Terrell tells the judge that her daughter's birth certificate does not have Mr. Wallace's name signed as her father. Ms. Young's daughter says that she always believed Ms. Terrell's daughter to be her sister, but now that they are in court and there are so many secrets coming out, she doesn't know what to believe.
So Mr. Wallace, was he aware when you were pregnant with Miss Patton that this was his child?
He was aware. I was a virgin when I first met Johnny Wallace. Me and him used to hang out. He used to come to my mother's house. I used to go to his grandmother's house.
Easy now, Ms. Young. We don't want you beating up anyone in the courtroom. Ms. Young says that she remembers her husband, Mr. Wallace, giving her some money to have an abortion, but she refused to follow through with it. Like the judge said, doesn't mean he did even in fact sleep with Ms. Terrell.
We don't know exactly what was said, but it, of course, to me, seems interesting. It's not on your birth certificate. There is question amongst the family as to whether or not you are or are not his biological child.
Phew. If only Mr. Wallace were alive to sort out the mess he created. Ms. Young is upset that Ms. Terrell and her daughter were enlisted as beneficiaries when Mr. Wallace died. But then again, if there was no type of relationship between them and Mr. Wallace, there's no way they would have gotten those benefits.
Miss Young claimed she never knew about me. I was never accepted. I got on a flight to Savannah, Georgia with Miss Stapleton to come and get her. If you didn't know me, if you didn't accept me, why?
At this point, I don't think there's any way forward aside from the results. We've seen both parties come at each other and it's ended in only fights. The results are in. Let's finally help them put an end to their endless worry and doubt, shall we?
Miss Patton and Miss Stapleton, you are not related.
Already knew.
Mr. White has summoned Ms. Loving to court to prove that he did not father her 5-month-old daughter, Loyal. He has brought a witness to court who believes that he is the father of the child. Ms. Loving, on the other hand, says that she admits that Mr. White wasn't the only sexual relationship, but is certain that Mr. White is the father of her daughter. Well, this is how the case begins.
Mr. White, you have summoned Ms. Loving to court to prove you did not father her 5-month-old daughter, Loyal.
Yes.
You've brought a witness to court today who believes he is the baby's father.
Correct.
Let's just say they both had different ideas of what their relationship was. Mr. White says that he has known Ms. Loving for 4 years, and they've been very good friends for about that long. They had sex, but it was never a romantic relationship. Ms. Loving then says she did everything with him and wonders why he never saw her as his girlfriend.
Are you using protection?
No.
ma'am.
So you're sleeping with a girl
with no
unprotected that's
not your girl.
girlfriend?
Correct.
Okay.
Wow.
If I can recall, I was at work, you know, and then she had told me she was pregnant, and so, you know what I'm saying, so when I got off work, I went over there.
Mr. White says that Ms. Loving called him while he was at work and told him that she was pregnant. He went over to her place to see how she was doing and confirm if she was really pregnant. Ms. Loving told him that he was the only possible father, but he did not believe her when she said so. All he did was give her the benefit of the doubt.
The day she gave birth, Your Honor,
You went to the hospital.
I went up there. Before I went up there, I got a DNA test, Your Honor. Left the DNA test in the car because I didn't want to bring it up there because I didn't know who was up there. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't want to be rude because we're going to be in my
That was rude anyways, Will, for you to even do that. That was inconsiderate. I just had...
I think we can understand why they remained friends and they got into a relationship. They yell and argue about almost anything. Mr. White is mad at the fact that she did not come clean about the child having another possible father. Ms. Loving then tells him that she eventually did come clean and that should count as something.
Looking at the baby trying to see what's going on.
And when you looked at the baby, did you feel like it was your child?
No, ma'am. She's beautiful, though, but no, ma'am, I didn't.
Okay. And so then did you ever ask Ms. Loving, I want to do this DNA test, I have it in the car?
I said, I got the DNA test in the car, you know what I'm saying? Y'all still want me to go get him?
Wow. Mr. White's doubts had to be very strong for him to want to do something like that. Apparently he brought in a DNA test kit to check if the baby belonged to him after Ms. Loving had just given birth. He says he wanted to be respectful because he did not know who was in there, so he decided not to follow through with his plan.
What is your understanding?
My understanding, I've always believed that Mr. White was my granddaughter's father. I know Mr. White and my daughter.
That's one side of a coin. Ms. Loving's mother tells the judge that she has always believed that Mr. White was the father of her granddaughter because he used to talk to Ms. Loving a lot and they were always in each other's company. Aside from that, he's a very good and well-mannered gentleman.
To a recovery center when I found out I was first pregnant because I decided that I didn't want to have my baby. So basically this is the center that basically helps you cope with the situation, but instead they gave me a conception date.
Another truth bomb hits the floors of the courtroom. Ms. Loving tells the judge that she had 2 conception dates. The first one indicated that Mr. White was the possible father of her child, while the second one revealed that the other man she slept with could be the possible father. Phew, what a mess.
You have doubt as well?
I do. For one, Your Honor, my family has 6 fingers. My grandmother had it, he had it, my other son had it, and my other son's son had it.
I like his mom already. Mr. White's mother takes the stand and says that she doesn't believe the child belongs to her son. She says that she just wants to know if the baby belongs to their family so they can do the right thing and allow another man to take care of their own. Plus, she is right. If you, Ms. Loving, believe that baby belonged to Mr. White, why did she not allow him to take the DNA test?
You realize we're talking about the paternity as it relates to 5-month-old baby Loyal?
Yes, ma'am.
You have had a sexual relationship with Ms. Loving, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Phew, the surprises just don't end in this case. Mr. White brings in another witness, and the witness says that he believes he is the father of the child. The dude walks in, and apparently it's the other man Ms. Loving slept with. He says he believes he is the father of the child because he was in a relationship with Ms. Loving at a point in time.
Which lines up with your testimony, Ms. Loving, because you say the first conception date clearly pointed to Mr. White, but then when you went to the doctor later on, it established that there was potentially Mr. Talbert as another possible father.
Seems like the other guy also has doubts about being the father of the child. Well, the results have been prepared, and now we want to find out which one of both men is the father of Ms. Loving's daughter. Here are the DNA results.
Loyal's biological father is Mr. Talbert.
Ms. Foster says that getting pregnant at the age of 17 pushed her into adulthood sooner than she expected. She claims that Mr. Durden is denying her 15-month-old son, and she's asking the court to order a paternity test so she can prove to him that he is the father of her child. This is how their case begins.
Ms. Foster, you say getting pregnant at the age of 17 pushed you into adulthood sooner than you expected. You claim Mr. Durden is denying your 15-month-old son, Ian Durden Jr. You are asking the court to order a paternity test so you can prove he is the father.
Looks like Mr. Durden has done pretty much nothing for the child. He says that there is no need for the court to grant a DNA test because he knows he is not the father and he can prove that in the courtroom. Well, let's see why he thinks he is not the father of the child.
I haven't, and the simple fact because I haven't helped because I don't want to get too attached to a baby that's not mine.
He has your name.
Yeah, Your Honor, I agree with that. And the reason because he has my name is because I was kind of like pushed to sign a birth certificate.
Phew, that's sad. Ms. Foster is doing so much to make sure her baby is taken care of, and yet she doesn't get to spend as much time as she would like to spend with her child. Mr. Foster says that he does not do anything for the child because he does not want to get attached to a baby he is not sure belongs to him.
Mr. Durden, I mean, the numbers don't lie. Without your contribution, this young woman she's sinking financially trying to take care of this child.
I understand that she is.
Haha, that's hilarious. Mr. Durden still insists that the baby does not belong to him. He says that every time they had sex, he used a condom, so it's impossible for him to be the father of the child. What's even crazier is the fact that his name is on the baby's birth certificate, and he is listed as the father of the child.
Messages that were between me and a guy that
saw a picture.
We were talking on social media. You know, we were on a break. Me and Ian were not together. He was someone who was comforting me at the time. It was not anything. We never had sex or anything like that.
I'm sorry, but Ms. Foster is not making any sense. She took another guy to her sonogram and did not inform Mr. Durden that she was even pregnant. Mr. Durden went through her phone and saw explicit messages with the same guy she took to the sonogram. Ms. Foster says that she did not have sex with him, but somehow that sounds like a lie.
The child's named after you. Why did you sign
And
a
it
birth
was a
certificate?
problem with the child being named after me. She didn't want the child to be named after me.
So you lobbied for that?
It took her mother and I think one of her friends to tell her it's the right thing to do if the baby's his.
Well, I mean, Ms. Foster is not wrong. Nobody forced him to sign the birth certificate. He came to the hospital and put down his name as the father of the child. If he really didn't believe he was the father of the child, I don't think he would have signed the birth certificate.
This child is not mine. I know for a fact this child is not mine. Condoms are 98% sure.
Well, we are at the 2% because...
I mean, let's be honest. They're not 100% effective.
That definitely kept him quiet. Judge Lauren has been trying to see why Ms. Foster does not want a DNA test to be granted, and yet he can't seem to prove or convince Judge Lauren as to why a DNA test should not be granted.
This is my brother, Mr. Durden, and he's like my best friend. And one day we had a talk about Ms. Foster and the baby, and he stated that she's pregnant. I didn't even know they was having intercourse because they so young. They kids.
Wow, that took me by surprise. Ms. Durden's sister walks into the podium, and to me she says that Mr. Durden told her that Ms. Foster cheated on him with her best friend, and the best friend looks exactly like Mr. Durden. Whew, you know what? That's enough drama from these guys. Let's see if Judge Lauren gets to grant the DNA test and what the results would be.
Mr. Durden, you are the father.
What What would you do if you saw a girl wearing tight pants? Would you slide into her bed by selling dreams of wedding bells, as the man did in this case? Mr. Wiggins rolled up in court seeking Judge Lake's help to get back his family. Here's how the case started.
Mr. Wiggins, you are here in court to prove that you are not the father of Ms. Davis' child, Aubrey Wiggins, and say today's results will change your life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wow, a brief separation gave him the pass to sleep with another woman. It turned out that in no time, he was up to jiggery-pokery with Ms. Davis, yet he wanted to free himself from accusations of being a father to a baby girl.
It just, it kind of went longer than it should have.
But your hope is that if you can prove that Aubrey is not your biological child, that you can convince your ex-wife, which is, the woman, I guess she left because of this situation?
Yes, ma'am.
Further, the defendant claimed that they had been in a committed relationship for 2 years. The man admitted to manipulating and lying to this young lady for his gain, yet blaming her was the reason he lost track of his family. Oh my.
I knew I was in a relationship.
You did?
2.5 years we was together.
I was telling her what I felt I needed to tell her to ultimately get what I wanted.
The next, Judge Lauren hopped into the pregnancy. It slipped out that Mr. Wiggins' mistress wanted his wife out of his life because she expected to have her whole life with him. So he put on his deception hat and duped the baby mama like this.
Told people, and then I asked her to let me tell my wife. And of course, because she wanted my wife out of the picture, because she did want more.
You're right. I wanted more because that's what you presented.
And I was good to her. Because ultimately I was trying to get something out of her.
However, he asserted that Ms. Davis approached his wife on Facebook and disrupted his married life. Oh man, are you out of your mind? He has no control over his desires. And yet, has the defendant been inoculated for the havoc? That just makes no sense.
Ms. Davis told her that she was pregnant and that she wasn't going anywhere. She inboxed her on Facebook, which caused a lot of havoc in my life.
Okay, so the next chronicles of Wiggins started. He claimed that she had been busy with another man at the time she conceived the baby, because he sent some text messages on her phone. So that's why he was denying paternity.
We got into a bit of an altercation. I don't remember the exact details. And my family member seen her be picked up by another guy.
That was my cousin.
That she claims to be her cousin. However, it's a coincidence that while we were at the hotel,
to prove his sham show right, the alleged father brought an exhibit to the court. He alleged that Ms. Davis had fabricated his name on the birth certificate, but how she forged his name was quite interesting.
I'm no Einstein or anything, but I'm educated enough to know my own birth date. This is the birth certificate. Apparently she knew my name. This is the birth date that's listed on Aubrey's birth certificate.
Until now, it was apparent that Mr. Wiggin was a compulsive liar who made sham allegations about baby mama, and he was clowning just to defend himself. Further, it came out that they were still sleeping together.
Still involved?
No, we're not, Your Honor. No, we're not, Your Honor.
At the same time, two different answers.
Right.
Exact same time.
When was the last time you two were intimate?
It's been a while.
Last night.
Yeah, Judge Lake was right. He was playing on both sides of the fence, yet he contended that he wanted to get back his family. However, their back and forth did not help and made things more complicated, so the last hope to get closure was to reveal the DNA results.
Mr. Wiggins, you are the father. And that's why this court has asked a doctor to come here. Jerome, will you please escort Dr. Sarah Vinson into the courtroom? She is a board-certified child and adolescent psychiatrist.
Violence does not only happen on the streets, it also happens in Judge Lauren's courtroom. These parents will leave you wondering if they are even fit to have children. Here are situations where dangerous gangsters found their way into the courtroom. This was a paternity case like no other. With so much regret, Mr. Patrick appeared in court, claiming that a stranger whom he welcomed into his home out of the kindness of his heart ended up sleeping with his girlfriend. He now believes he is not the father of her twins. He opened his case by saying,
Mr. Patrick, you say 5 years ago you made a huge mistake by opening your doors to a stranger who needed a place to stay because that man betrayed you and slept with your girlfriend, Ms. Pence.
Mr. Patrick must have been a really welcoming man. The question ringing in everyone's head was about how a stranger he welcomed into his home ended up kicking it in bed with his girlfriend. In his story, he claimed that one evening, the defendant, Ms. Pence, disappeared overnight.
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Well, he stayed maybe 5 or 6 days, and he up and moved out. I questioned her. I said, wonder why he just up and left. Is it because me and you argue a lot?
Okay.
OMG, she sneaked out to sleep with the stranger? Now, that's something you don't see every day. In trying to defend herself, she claimed that Mr. Patrick always accused her of sleeping with people, even though she knew for a fact that she hadn't slept with anyone. Somehow I do not believe that, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt, shall we?
I had never slept with anyone else before that night. I had constantly...
You're so flirtatious.
That's how I was brought up. I'm constantly calling people honey and babe. That's just, I'm from the South.
Mr. Patrick might be onto something there. Maybe the sexual tension was getting too much for them to handle. Anyway, Miss Penny was not going to deny that what she did was wrong, but she claimed that deep down in her heart, she wanted to make things right.
It seemed like you went out looking for him.
There was no specific reason as to why that guy. It was just someone at the time that was around, and it happened.
So in other words,
But he wasn't around. He had left the house.
He had, Your Honor. I was with my neighbor.
I mean, can she really blame him for thinking she's always cheating after what she did? She better cut him some slack. Judge Lauren then went on to ask her when she found out she was pregnant. Ms. Pence explained to the judge when she conceived her baby using this exhibit.
And then on August 7th is the date that the twins were born.
That don't mean that's a 5-day window.
It does. The doctor had said that the twins were conceived right around the 2nd of November, Your Honor. The twins were born almost completely full term.
Oh, she thought she was smart. Was she trying to hide the date she slept with a stranger from the judge? Oh well. Aside from the fact that she cheated on him, Mr. Patrick told the judge that he had other reasons that made him doubt he was not the father of the child.
What are those doubts?
I think he's ADHD or something like that. You know what I mean? He doesn't listen. He's rambunctious.
He's a little boy.
I understand
Mr.
he's
Patrick.
a little boy, and I hope he grows out of it someday, but...
I'm not going to fault Judge Lauren for asking a doctor to come to the courtroom. Mr. Patrick, for some reason, felt that one of the twins had a disorder that made him feel the child was not his. This was what the doctor had to say.
To one gene, sometimes it's multiple genes, and sometimes it's the way that the genes interact with the environment, and sometimes the genes have nothing to do with it, and it's just something that happened during the pregnancy or during the delivery or in that child's early childhood that can affect how they learn.
From the doctor's explanation, it looks like Mr. Patrick might be wrong to claim that he is the father of just one of the twins. But one thing was certain, his doubts were affecting his relationship with Ms. Penny on a major level.
We've always had arguments over stuff.
Yes, but Your Honor, we haven't even been had sex in probably the past 4 months. It's just a constant argument from the time that I get up until the time that I go to bed, pretty much. It's constant argument.
You heard Mr. Patrick. If it happens that he isn't the father of the twins, he is dumping Ms. Pence's ass and leaving her with the kids. After so much talking had been done, Judge Lauren felt it was time to reveal the results of the lie detector test. This was how it played out.
Your Honor.
You were asked the following questions. During the last 10 years of your relationship with Mr. Patrick, have you had sexual contact with any other man other than the man whom you admitted to cheating with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh wow. Ms. Penny had more skeletons in her cupboard than she was willing to tell the courtroom. After hearing those results, Judge Lauren felt it was time to reveal the DNA results and see if anything Ms. Pence said was true at all. This was her verdict.
In the case of Patrick versus Pence, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Patrick, you are the father.
I told you that you was the father. I told you.
Ms. Bailey brings her ex-husband to the courtroom to prove that he is the biological father of her child. She does admit to sleeping with multiple men, but she claims that she is certain that her ex-husband, Mr. Green, who is also the defendant, is the father of her child. Well, here's how the face begins.
Miss Bailey.
Yes, ma'am.
You state you've brought your ex-husband, Mr. Green, to court, biological father of your 9-month-old son, Lawrence.
Yes, Your Honor.
Though you freely admit to sleeping with multiple men during the time of conception.
After hearing that, it's hard not to believe Mr. Green. He claims that he has always had unprotected sex with Ms. Bailey, and she never got pregnant. All of a sudden, she claims she is pregnant, and he just isn't buying that story.
And Mr. Green, I'd like to hear you to this court. Why are you so sure?
She also admitted that she had been with somebody in February, right before she had sex
yes,
with
Your
me
Honor.
also.
Seems like they both have different stories about what really happened. Mr. Green says that they got married and she disappeared for over a year. Ms. Bailey says that he is lying and they have been intimate even till this very day. Phew, I wonder who is lying.
Relationship. How it got to the point that you were sleeping together, but you were also with other people during the time the father of your child is. Those are the facts I need.
Okay, Judge Lauren is also in no need to play. Ms. Bailey and Mr. Green start to argue about who did this and who did that, but the judge shuts them up and tells them that all she wants to know is when the cheating started and what started it.
And windows of conception.
Okay, and then when you find out, you tell Mr. Green?
Yes, I told him if I find out I was pregnant, but he believed that it was his.
Enough with all the yelling for crying out loud. Getting the truth out of these two is going to be very difficult because they can't even agree on anything. Oh well. Ms. Bailey says that Mr. Green was happy about the pregnancy when she told him. Mr. Green, however, says that he never believed he was the father and also was not excited about the baby.
Alabama, when I was 7 months pregnant.
You were 7 months pregnant. I can't make you pregnant when you already pregnant. That's over with.
In February, we slept
Exactly.
together February, March, and May.
But Miss
Ouch. Ms. Bailey's face says it all. That statement definitely hurt. Mr. Bailey says that he always knew she was sexually involved with 2 other men. He also says that she tells him things that she thinks would make him mad, but he just doesn't care. Or could all his nonchalant attitude be a show? Maybe he does actually care.
Red hair. He's like almost white. He like.
And he still do.
Hey, look. I did some
Beautiful
research.
little boy.
I did some
Thank you.
research.
I'm glad we finally get into some evidence.
Thank
in
you.
here.
Thank you. And what you're about to read is about the state.
Honestly, I am very speechless. Now, Mr. Green presents his evidence that shows the color of the child's hair. Apparently it's brown, and he believes that there is no way he and Ms. Bailey could have produced a baby with that type of hair color since they are both black.
Were you sleeping with the other 2 men without?
Well, Your Honor, yes, I was. I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was going to lead to, but I figured since I never did get between the 3 years we was.
I mean, it's understandable that Mr. Green might not want to be part of the baby's life due to the fact that he doesn't think he is the father, but Ms. Bailey has no right to say that her son doesn't need to know his father. That is just wrong. Every child should know their parents.
With the various men you had sex with. On the 4th, had sex with potential father number 1 without protection. If your cycle is the next week, the following week you have sex on the 18th.
I don't think anyone was expecting him to say something like that, but let's be honest, that's one pretty crowded calendar. How Judge Lauren was able to understand the calendar is honestly a mystery to me.
Was already with a woman, okay? He broke up with her to be with me, and then when Thanksgiving came, he told me he was staying with his soul. He asked me to spend a weekend with him, and I walked in, and he took me into another woman.
Wow. Either Mr. Green's heart is made of stone, or he really doesn't believe anything that Ms. Bailey says. Point still remains that he doesn't believe that he is the father of the child. Well, we've seen enough of their yelling. The results are in, and the judge is ready for her verdict.
Case of Bailey versus Green, 9-month-old Lauren Bailey. Mr. Green, you is his father.
This case will blow your mind. Trust me. There are 2 people with 2 different mothers present in the courtroom, claiming that the same man is their father. Crazy, right? They hope to find out the truth and finally know if the man in question is their real father. Here's how the case begins.
Mr. Moore, you claim you've known Mr. Taylor for most of your life.
Yes, Your Honor.
But he has never acknowledged you as a son.
Yes, Your Honor.
And he even left you in foster care.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Everett, you say you weren't even introduced to Mr. Taylor until you were...
Well, his reason had better be a very good one. Mr. Moore, the first plaintiff, says that he has known the defendant, Mr. Taylor, for most of his life, but Mr. Taylor has never acknowledged him as his son. The second plaintiff says that she didn't meet Mr. Taylor until she was 5, and her relationship with him was so bad that she put herself in foster care. Imagine that?
End up in foster care.
I ended up in foster care because he let me rot in foster care. He didn't care about nothing about me.
That is a strong accusation. Please describe your childhood. How did this...
Phew. You can tell that he went through a lot while growing up. What hurt the most was that his mother never told him about his father until he was out of juvenile hall, and that just made him so furious. If his dad had been around, maybe things could have been different.
I wasn't sure ever that this was my son.
You still can
I
find out,
honestly didn't know. And then all of a sudden, he's your son, he's your son, he's your son. No, Your Honor, I didn't know. So I went.
I mean, that's kind of the most human thing to do. If there was a chance that Mr. Moore was his son, there was no harm in trying to get him out of foster care. Mr. Taylor says that he never believed he was the father because his name was not on Mr. Moore's birth certificate.
Did you bring that evidence?
Yes,
sir?
Your Honor. Can I present this to you? We got the same chin, same nose, same mouth, same eyes, same head structure, all that.
On the left, of course, is a picture of you, and on the right, a...
He can't be serious. They look exactly alike. Mr. Taylor says that the only thing he can see is the fact that they have the same complexion. Aside from that, there's nothing showing that Mr. Moore is his son.
What did his mother say to you? What did she tell you?
His mother said to me, now this is years later. This isn't when the child was born. This is that might be your son.
Were you ever told she was even pregnant?
She came and told me she was living with me.
Oh, I think we see what's going on now. Apparently, Mr. Taylor and Mr. Moore's mother weren't in a relationship. She cheated on her boyfriend with Mr. Taylor and eventually went back to her boyfriend. She told Mr. Taylor that she was pregnant, and he felt that since she went back to her boyfriend, it was his child.
Ms. Twyman, yes. Please tell us what you know about this situation, Mr. Moore's upbringing, and how can you add?
Mr. Moore's mother is my sister.
Okay.
Okay. My sister told me that Mr. Taylor.
That changes the whole dynamic of things. Ms. Twyman, who happens to be Mr. Moore's mother's sister, says that Mr. Moore's mother told her that there was no way that Mr. Taylor could be Mr. Moore's father. Phew. At this point, I think we need to see the results. That's the only way to move forward.
And as to whether Mr. Taylor is his biological father, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Taylor, you are his father.
Mr. Taylor, I can see you have tears in your eyes.
That's sweet. It's good that he feels bad and is ready to make amends for being absent from his son's life. It doesn't end there, though. Now we have to get to the second plaintiff. Could Mr. Taylor also be the father? Let's find out.
Explain to the court, what was life like for you growing up?
I never had a father figure in my life. I didn't meet Mr. Taylor until I was 5 years old. He came to my house in Philadelphia.
Wow. Who does that to a child? That would definitely have shattered her heart as a child. Ms. Everett tells the judge that her mother introduced her to Mr. Taylor as her father. After the introduction, Mr. Taylor said he would come back, but he never showed up until she was 14 years old.
To begin with, let me explain in the beginning. Her mother, lived with me for a month. She left, and I didn't see her no more. And then the next time you see me, you got a baby, and you saying it's mine. And right after that,
Aha, now it's starting to make sense. Mr. Taylor says that he knew that her mother was sleeping with other men, and that made him doubt he was the father. He also says that he was incarcerated for a while, and that's why he never came back to see Ms. Everett.
Friends went to amusement parks. I didn't go to parks. I didn't go to family reunions. I didn't go to no type of anything. It was nowhere in the picture.
Your Honor,
from 5 to 14 years old.
I wasn't in the picture is because I had all the doubts.
Man, I think we can understand why Ms. Everett initially said that she took herself to foster care. She explains to the judge that Mr. Taylor and his daughter treated her badly, and they never made her feel like she was part of their family.
Say I'm at the bus station. Did you know she was coming?
No.
What?
No. The next thing I know, here she is. I got to enroll her in school. As soon as she got there, I could see why she came. She was disruptive.
That was honestly a lot. At some point, I cut emotional listening to Mr. Taylor as he poured out his heart. He says that he had no idea that Ms. Everett was coming to stay with him. He took her in, and she became a pain in his ass. Looks like he is a good man after all.
It was 2 people on the birth certificate. When I took that to the state building said to me that it was a computer error. So
a computer error, nothing.
Wait, there's 2 people on your birth certificate?
It was 2 people at the time. It was just a word named Michael.
That's a first. Ms. Everett says that when she went to initially pick up her birth certificate, there were 2 names on it, Mr. Taylor and some other man who she didn't know. Well, Mr. Taylor says he never saw any of those birth certificates and still believes he is not the father.
Only way to figure out whose name should rightfully be on that birth certificate is to get the results. Jerome, I'm ready.
I couldn't agree more. This courtroom has seen a lot of heat, and it's time to put an end to the unending fire. Judge Lauren is ready to read the results. Let's see if Mr. Taylor is also the father to Ms. Everett.
In the case of Moore Everett v. Taylor, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Taylor, you are her father.
As you will have it, here's another relationship about to hit a brick wall. Ms. Polzin appears in court and has brought her partner, Mr. Callender, to court with the hopes of saving what's left of their relationship. She hopes to prove to the court and Mr. Callender that the babe belongs to him. Well, here's how it all begins.
Ms. Polzin, you've summoned Mr. Callender to court in hopes of salvaging what is left of your relationship. You say he denies your daughter Zoe, but today you intend to prove paternity. Is that correct?
Apparently, Mr. Callender loves the child. He says he has built a bond with her that's almost inseparable, but he just can't seem to erase the fact that Ms. Polzin has a pattern of sleeping with several men.
Question it.
Yes, ma'am. It's like a dark cloud hovering over us, keeping us, I think it's preventing us from moving forward. Just the uncertainty, not knowing 100% that I'm her father.
Do you feel that dark cloud?
Yes, Your Honor, and it...
After hearing that, trust me, you can tell that these guys are holding on by a thread. They definitely love each other and their baby girl, but Mr. Callender just needs to be certain the baby belongs to him. I wonder how they got themselves into such a mess.
We went our separate ways, and we both
I've gotten long-term relationships, and my last long-term relationship, we were having hard times towards the end of it. It was about 9 years, and he hit me up on Facebook, Mr. Callender did.
Is it just me, or are there some loopholes in that story? Apparently, Ms. Polson was in a relationship with someone else when she reunited her feelings for Mr. Callender. The crazy thing is, they were also kicking it in bed while she was still in a relationship. Sounds fishy, right?
Well, it was about a week after she had moved into her apartment after getting most of her things out of the residence.
A week?
But I was only having sexual contact with Mr. Callender. Me and my ex were living in separate rooms. We had a lot of
Remember when I said their story sounded fishy? Well, I guess you know why. Mr. Callender tells the judge that Ms. Polson told him she was pregnant a week after she had moved out of her previous partner's apartment. That definitely doesn't add up.
He shows up with soup and a teddy bear because she's sick, but how did he know that she was sick if they haven't been communicating?
Soup and a teddy bear?
He would bring me flowers to work and left a soup and a teddy bear.
Ha! Even Judge Lauren isn't buying her story. Mrs. Polson tells the court that she wasn't sleeping with her ex-partner. Now, if she wasn't sleeping with her ex-partner, how did he know she was sick? And why did he bring her soup and a teddy bear? Oh, she has a lot of explaining to do.
And I'd seen that his number was in there, and just out of curiosity, I clicked on it, and it said they had conversations for 30 minutes, another one for an hour, and I asked her about it.
Now the cat is out of the bag, and it's about to blow up in her face. Ms. Polson never told Mr. Callender that her ex-partner brought her soup and a teddy bear when she was sick. It came up when they were having an argument. If I were in his shoes, I probably wouldn't believe a single thing she says after that.
Me too. It was like a kick to the chest.
And so then your doubts started spinning.
Yes, and a week or two after that, she was in contact with her ex, and
can you really blame him for having doubts? It told him she wasn't having sex with her ex-partner. Why in heaven's name would he then ask if the baby belongs to him? Man, Ms. Polson sure knows how to keep secrets.
As you were getting the last few things out of your house, he had made the comment, you said that he would ask for one last shebang.
Oh, really?
Yes, he did.
But you declined?
No, of course I declined. I had been over that relationship for a very long time.
With a look on her face, I'm sorry, but I do not believe a single word that's coming out of her mouth for real. There are so many loopholes with what she's saying, and she just doesn't seem like a truthful person.
Baby Zoe, do you believe your son is her biological father?
I hope and pray that he is. We have a very strong bond.
And I can see how emotional that makes you.
You can see it in her face. Mr. Callender's mother wants the baby to be her son's child. She tells Judge Lauren that they've built a strong bond with the child, and she doesn't want that bond to break the child's heart.
Can withstand the realization that Zoe is not your son's biological child?
I don't believe it would.
So you believe if she's not his, this relationship is over?
Yes, ma'am.
There's definitely a lot at stake for everyone in the courtroom. Is Mr. Callender going to end up as the father of the child? I guess the DNA results are going to reveal the truth.
To Zoe Callender. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Callender, you are the father.
This case begins with Ms. Smith telling the courtroom that her daughter could have 3 potential fathers. Yup, you heard that right. She hopes to find out the truth and right her wrongs so her child could have a better future.
Love your 1-year-old daughter, Tamia, and say you're hoping your mistakes don't ruin her life. Now, at this moment, you claim she has 3 possible fathers. You've requested results of multiple.
Well, at least she's being honest about her situation. She told the judge straight up that while in her 8-year relationship, she messed around, and she did this because she was going through a rough time with her husband.
But it's somebody in the hall waiting on. It's a man in the hallway who took a DNA test.
But this is the question. You say he's your go-to guy. But how many other men were you going
Exactly.
to?
Exactly.
One. Me and my husband tried for years,
only
and we
reason-
could not.
Ow! Seems like Mr. Bailey and Ms. Smith love to kick it in bed. Mr. Bailey denies it, but Ms. Smith claims that they had sex in every house they found during their house hunt. Talk about 2 people who love being in their spaces. This is a perfect example.
Who did you tell that you were pregnant and that they were the father?
I told.
She told both of us.
No,
Me and him
I did
actually
not.
stayed in my
I did
car
not tell him. He
when I was
don't
staying in
even
Rome,
know.
Georgia.
He don't
We were
even
sitting in the
know.
car. I picked him up
He
because he
don't
was
even know.
walking.
All they want to do is talk over each other. Glad the judge told them to bring their volumes down. It was almost as if my ears were about to explode from all their yelling.
One night stand with you
Yes,
during
ma'am.
the window of conception, and you potentially could be her daughter's biological father.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think you had a one night stand, or you don't think it was during the window of conception, or you don't think...
Now that is one hilarious reply from Judge Lauren. He sure needs to check his math. He claims he slept with Ms. Smith during the window of conception, but says he is sure he isn't a possible father to the baby. I wonder how that works.
I need to hear from you. When did you first hear about Tamia?
About 2 months ago, the girl that I met her through came to see me, and she brought her and the child and another child.
Oh, wow. I mean, if that's how things really played out, I would honestly think it was a joke or some type of prank. I'm on his side. If Ms. House Smith really thought he was the father, she should have done better with the way she broke the news to him.
Well, I have a medical condition. I was diagnosed with leukemia in 2009.
Glad to see you're well.
Yeah, I take chemo pills, and my doctor told me that if I did have children, that they'd have severe birth defect.
One thing I love about this man is that he has enough proof to back up his claim. Seems like finding out the father of the child is turning into a mystery. I wonder what's going to happen next in the courtroom.
In the same house together. She sat me, his older sister, and her. We sat in the same kitchen together while the older sister was perming her hair, and she was telling me and the sister, oh, y'all need to get some of these men up here, this, that, and the other. You know, basically telling us how many people she's messing with down from Rome to Atlanta.
Does the yelling end? At this point, I think the only way out is to reveal the results from the DNA test. Well, here they come.
Of Smith versus Bailey Anderson, pertaining to whether Mr. Bailey or Mr. Anderson is the father of 1-year-old Tamia Smith. It has been determined that the biological father is Mr. Bailey.